What's up, music people? I'm here with Brendan and Austin of Wicked Love, and they are joining us this evening from South Carolina, correct?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Oh, and look at you drinking a Blue Moon. That's one of my faves, man.
Mm. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
best on draft with the lemon
oh,
slide or
oh, yeah, the orange slice in it. Yeah,
yes,
man.
sir.
Oh yeah.
So
Them Belgian whites.
yeah, they are good. Well, see, I've got well, shit. Let me get my screen. It's
Oh yeah, the Ranger. Nice, nice.
IPA. I like to go a little strong.
I'm a usually this time of year I'm a slut for the pumpkin ales.
Nah.
Oh, I'm a basic bitch, man.
See, I like this time of year. I like the porters, the porters
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
out.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, guys, you know, so your publicist, Shauna, awesome lady, she was like all over me with you guys. She was like, "Oh my god, these guys are so great! Love their whole album, blah blah blah." She sent me a copy of it, listened to it, loved it. I mean, y'all are right in my wheelhouse, man. You're kind of that 80s, 90s sound, but with a modern twist.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what I grew up on, man. I was, Poison, as you can see, Poison,
Yeah.
Warrant, Def Leppard, Skid Row, Dangerous Toys,
Oh yeah.
I was on it. So, it was kind of really cool to hear somebody bringing that back. So, like, how do you feel like with all the metalcore and this and that? How do you feel like you guys, that type of music fits in still?
Awesome.
Well, how we think it fits in. I don't know if we fit in per se with the metal guys. We're kind of by ourselves. We try to play a lot of local shows here in Charleston, and we get paired up with a lot of the metalcore guys and a lot of bands that are heavier than us. And while it still works, it at the same time we stand out, and I feel in a good way because we're
Mhm.
writing that are very easy to sing to. It's high energy rock and roll, just like how me and Brendan feel like it's supposed to be.
Oh
I
Right.
yeah.
mean, it should be a party.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree. And that's kind of what that whole genre of music was about, man. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
I'm about it.
yeah, I mean that like I said, that was my era. I loved it. I mean, I listened to the metalcore, I listened to, British metal, whatever. I pretty much listened to anything rock and roll. I expanded my horizons some into some hip hop and some I grew up on some country, so you got to kind of keep your keep open, so when you're doing this sort of thing, you don't want to just keep it to one genre. But I mean, like I said, you guys just, I mean, you blew my doors off. The song "Wicked Love." I
All
mean,
right.
I
I
was
like to hear
like,
that.
that is freaking awesome. I mean, so Austin, are you the lead guitarist?
Yes, sir.
So you're the one busting out them massive solos.
Trying to try.
Trying, yeah, right, man.
Uh,
Kid's a prodigy.
Yeah.
actually recorded that stuff. I believe back in 2015, and I believe we only released it to friends and family then. So we decided to come back out, have something to give our old fans, like, hey, it's been 6 years, we're back, writing some new things. I am personally a lot worse of a guitar player since then. Just kidding. I've been practicing my scales. um, but it's just fun. I try to model. I wouldn't say I'm copying my heroes, but really taking a cue from huge riffs. I
Right.
like songs that start with huge riffs and have that over the top sound, and especially with the solo work too. I mean, and that just kind of gives the whole aura and the feel of that music that it should be huge and over the top and larger than life. The whole fun of it.
Yeah, and I mean, solos are starting to make a comeback. I mean, there for a while, a lot of songs that you would hear, especially in the grunge era, that there was no guitar solos, and I was just
Very
like,
observant, yeah.
I was so disappointed because I'm like, okay, you sons of bitches killed my hair metal, And now I gotta sit
Yeah,
and listen
yeah.
to something that has no,
I
just
think the same
loud
thing.
brew guitars,
I feel the exact same way. I'm like, man, they killed it. Oh, they killed the best era.
They did, man. And I mean, it like I said, it was my just God, I remember sitting there watching MTV, freaking recording videos of my favorite bands playing, and
Yeah.
it just,
Headbangers Ball.
yep, yep. And I mean, unfortunately, that's reality TV now, but
Yeah.
I think everybody was on the right track with Elon Musk buying that instead of Twitter and making it MTV again.
Yeah, right. Let's go. Hey, I second that. Come on, Elon.
Right. But I mean, you guys got YouTube, and I just talked to an artist last night of a band, and we were discussing how YouTube and the platforms are such a big help for you guys. And it's far less expensive, I think, than what it was when it was MTV. Because I mean, you heard of bands back then spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to do a video, and
Oh, yeah.
y'all can rent a warehouse or go to a club or whatever, and make a video for minimal amount of money and still get the same kind of exposure, if not better, because YouTube is a worldwide platform.
Worldwide. Yeah.
Right. So I
Yep.
mean, I feel like it really helps you guys get out there, and like I said, you need to get out there, because you guys, like I said, blew my doors off. I love hearing music from that era, and like where I was with Wicked Love, you can hear the double kick in it, so it kind of adds a little modern twist to it, with the faster
Yeah.
drums, because back in the day it was that wasn't so prevalent with the hair metal.
Yep. Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was more standard beats, and I mean, look at Def Leppard, what they had to do when he lost his arm. It had to be like super simple beats and stuff like that, and then they went just hardcore on the 4-part harmonies and the melodies, and that's what made them huge.
oh yeah. So your voice, Brendan, you've got kind of I would say in between let's go with like a Vince Neil and a Sebastian Bach.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I get Sebastian Bach a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I base myself a lot off of CJ Snare, actually.
Okay. From
All right, so
Firehouse.
Firehouse, I've been absolutely in love with Firehouse my entire life. They're my favorite band, and CJ Snare was always that singer that I've just always been in love with. And before we started Wicked Love, me and Austin were in like an '80s tribute band down here in Charleston, and that's all we did was just like covers of '80s music and '80s hair
Mhm.
metal. And so I think the crazy thing about me is that my vocals are super versatile. I
Mhm.
can pretty much sound like anybody that I need to. Like you can hear the difference between when you listen to one of our ballads like Stay, and
Mhm.
then right after that you go and listen to Troubled Man, and it's a little bit more raspier,
Right.
right? So, and I like how we have that dynamic, because especially when we're here in Charleston, like you said, we're playing with all those metalcore bands. We want to have a song that's kind of a little bit harder, so we can kind of show them it's like, hey man, we're not just spandex and hair. Look at us, we can actually rock too. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think it's really cool.
So yeah, I mean, Firehouse was one of my faves back in the day too, man. I mean,
Mm.
I actually I got married in 2016, and Love of a Lifetime was our wedding song.
Nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I mean, I still will watch the what they call the live version for All She Wrote.
Ah,
Makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up.
right?
So yeah, I mean, it's great to sit here and talk to somebody whose, excuse me, band is based on that era. I mean,
Oh, big time.
So
big time.
you two were in a band together. So how did Wicked Love come together, and how did Wicked Love come about as far as the name and everything?
Awesome.
Well, so the 80s band that we were in, hey there, Smokey. So my cat is in here. So the 80s band that we needed a singer, and actually ended up finding Brendan on Craigslist. And I guess the Craigslist is still there, even though most people don't use it hardly at all.
Right.
Found him on Craigslist, and I was like, "Hey, you want to come over and jam?" And turns out he lived a couple doors down in the same neighborhood. I'm like, "What the hell?"
Awesome! It was destiny.
He showed up, and I believe Brendan. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. It was either "Love of a Lifetime" or "Don't." By Firehouse.
I think it was "Love of a Lifetime," but I think I sang both of them for you.
Yeah, so I didn't expect him to sound like that there, and I was just like, well, we should do more than the cover.
yeah.
Well, let's just write, and it kind of, as far as writing and the band happened, it formed then when I heard him sing, and then I believe our name came about probably a couple weeks later. I was really big into Lynch Mob and George Lynch at the time. And I believe that they have their song Wicked Sensation. And I was like, Wicked's a cool word. And for some odd reason in my mind, I just thought about love. And then I was like, Brendan, say Wicked Love out loud, just like shout it. It just felt good. It sounded good. And I embodied the style of music that we wanted to play, because I like band names that are short and to the point, but that if somebody could see it on a bill, even if they hadn't heard it before, they would be able to be like, I know exactly what kind of style they are. Mm-hmm. That's what
Yep, I seen Lynch Mob and Steelheart together. God.
Oh, Steelheart, that's another one. Jesus.
Years ago. I actually did an interview with Milo, the singer. And
nice.
He's a cool cat, man. But I was telling him, I said, man, I remember back in the day, they were playing at Newport Music Hall here in Columbus, and we seen Mick Brown walking down High Street. And my buddy was a drummer and was like, oh my God, man, I want to talk to him. And he's like, hey, man, can I get your autograph? And he's like, I ain't got time for you.
Oh, no.
Oh, doesn't that suck? One sour event just completely flips your opinion on.
And at the same time, Steelheart's drummer come out of the Newport, and he's like, hey, man, you guys can hang with us. And there was this bar next door. I was 16 years old, and these guys got me hammered. We went into the bar, and we was with the band, so they didn't question shit.
Nice.
And
hell yeah,
it was a great time, man. And I was reminiscing with him about that, and I was just like, I know you don't remember that because that's years and years ago, but yeah, that was a great concert. I mean, George Lynch has always been a pretty phenomenal guitar player, and it's oh man, everybody from back then. I mean, God, there was just so many that just it was like they were being manufactured. You know what I mean? It was like like the Pink Floyd video where they're just going through that little machine and falling off the end.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, and that's one of the biggest things that I noticed when I heard you guys was your range of your voice and Austin's guitar playing. And I'm like, holy shit, this is reinvented 80s 90s metal. And
nice. We are a product of what our parents raised us on.
Oh, okay.
So I know Austin's mom was big into hair and stuff like that, and my mother was big into that. So like it was just in our blood.
That was like the funny thing is I didn't play the guitar until high school, and for some odd reason I came across VH1 Classic. I believe I was a freshman or sophomore in high school. Late at night I saw a Motley Crue video and a Poison video. I don't remember which songs exactly they were, but I saw how over the top it was, and I was like, okay, I guess I need to play that style of music if I want to get phone numbers. And
Yeah.
yeah, this is the best kind of music. Look at the women with that are in this crowd. I was like, I
Yeah,
got,
right.
Yeah, they did pack the stadium with quite a bit of hot women.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Because I mean that was actually my first concert was Poison and Warrant. Warrant was on Cherry Pie and oh shit, I think was they on Open Up and Say Ah or Flesh and Blood. I want to say Flesh and Blood.
Yeah.
Poison. So yeah, it was man, been in love with that style forever and will never quit liking it. I mean, and that's what
That
I
doesn't die.
right. And
Look
that's
it up.
that's
I
what I'm
mean,
saying. That's what I admire about you guys is you're just, you're keeping it going and that's awesome. I mean, I don't you just don't see it much anymore.
Oh yeah.
no, no, you
It's
don't.
everybody's trying to be metalcore or kind of reinventing some kind of metal or whatever. Nobody wants to get it one of the best eras of music ever. I mean, that's my
Yeah.
opinion. Obviously,
Yeah. No, you're right. And I don't know why.
I don't either. I
Because
mean,
it's so much fun.
right.
It's
And it's
fun.
like, who cares that people wore, spandex and makeup and hair? It was glam. It was the time. But look, for lack of a better word, look how much pussy them guys pulled.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you watch some of the freaking behind the musics like Def Leppard. They would say that Rick Allen would be out there doing a drum solo, and all them guys would be backstage banging some chick before they come back out. Some groupies.
Yep.
Rock and roll.
Right. You don't really have groupies anymore. You know what I mean? So groupies were like 70s, 80s, kind of died off in the 90s.
Yep.
So what's that tell you? You know what I'm
Exactly. Exactly.
saying?
Right.
So,
What has happened? What's happened to the world?
ah,
Where are all the groupies at?
right. They're
This one,
retired.
yeah, that's what I was saying. I believe when Brendan, when you and I were first in, it was either Glam Nation or when we started Wicked Love, I was like, hey, I can't wait to show all these girls in the crowd, all the lead playing and all. They didn't care. All they were like, hey, do you know any Justin Bieber? Do you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
Cardi B? I was like, I just shredded your face off, and all you want to hear is dance. Dang, the appreciation for the guitar solos.
I'm telling you.
You
But
know what though? You know what though is if we continue to do what we love and we continue to rock out as honest as we can, I have a feeling, and me and Austin have always felt this way, that it will make a comeback. It will. And
mhm.
that's what we feel. That's what we honestly feel, you know? I don't want to say that it's like some holy mission that we're on to try and get it back and stuff like that. But it's super important to me and Austin, you know, like where's the sick guitar solos? Where's the high pitched voices and awesome 4-part harmonies and just this huge like have you ever seen Kiss live? You ever see
I
Kiss?
have not.
Oh my god, man. Like I saw them like Paul's like 70 years old now. I saw him when he was like 69 years old. And it was like the greatest show I've ever seen in my entire life.
I've
Something
heard.
big and over the top like that, man. It's like we don't have that anymore. So let's do it.
Hmm.
And that's what we're trying to get to.
Yeah. And I mean, it's like you said, you're having fun doing it. And that's one of the most important things.
Yeah.
I mean, you have the pleasure of being able to do a job that you love and
Yeah.
that you get out there every time, whether you're sick, hurt, feeling like shit, whatever. You get out there and you do your thing and you put a smile on and you make everybody in that crowd smile. And that's what it's all about, man.
That's what it's all about.
You guys, I mean, the entertainment industry, is lost a lot of luster. You know what I mean? People they come out and they do their dance, they do their thing, and they walk off the stage it's still important, at least to me, for a band to come out and really engage the crowd.
Yeah.
Because if you engage the crowd, they're going to engage you back. So
Hmm.
getting something that you want. And I mean, you really look at, well, I mean, when you're on, you got people just singing the lyrics back to you, or you put the microphone out there and they're going with it. I mean, the feeling of that just has to be amazing.
It it really is. It really, really is. Our last show that we did, we had people singing along to our stuff, and it was just, and we had a new song that we were singing. Austin, I don't know if you noticed this, but that video that we have of our new song, there's people singing the chorus of our new song. We literally played it's brand new. That was the first time we played it, was last Saturday. And that's another thing. It's like we try to make our songs, like Austin said earlier, we try to make our songs kind of like on the simple side when it comes to like the lyrics and like the melodies and stuff like that, so people can join us and have fun. It's just it's drinking music, man. It's energy rock.
Right. Yeah, and I mean that's what I feel like a lot of people are missing. A lot of people want to
Definitely,
go.
man.
A lot
Yeah.
of people want to go to these shows where that's mosh pits and walls of death and stuff like that. And you know what? I've been to those. It's fun, but I mean, I just remember the first time that I seen Poison after I was able to drink and hold my beer up in the freaking air when they was singing nothing but a good time.
Yeah, you know what? It's like I want to go to a show. I don't want to get hurt. I want to fall in love.
Yeah.
You
Uh,
know?
I mean, at least get laid,
Yeah,
something.
right. Or get like feel fulfilled when you leave.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, shit, I remember a friend of mine, he went to a Slipknot concert and left with a broken ankle.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Nobody wants to get hurt at a show, man.
but I mean, like I said, I've had, tons of fun at both, but
Oh yeah, and that's not to knock on them, man. I mean, I love music like that all the time, but it can only take so much.
so what's, you said you just brand new song. What's that one?
So we have a new song that we wrote. It's the first song that we wrote together in how long, Austin?
I think it might have been what 6, 7 years, something like that.
7 years, right? And we were a little weary coming into it, I guess, kind of. But you know what, Austin? I'm gonna take that back. I'm gonna retract that. It felt like we never stopped. We
I
just
think
went right. We just went right into it.
Awesome. Okay. And you just did a show on the 29th, and you got one on the 10th and December 2nd.
Yep.
All down there in the Charleston area.
Yes, sir.
So what's the plans for getting out of the Charleston area?
Austin, you answer.
well, we're kind of, I say the Charleston area shows right now, we are using those as trial and error shows. What I mean by that is we're trying things that we might want to implement as part of, let's say, our live stage show or new songs, and seeing how the crowd reacts to them. We're really just doing a bunch of legwork now, because we are in the process of writing and recording our first full length. That should be out sometime next year. We are probably going to hit the studio around February. But really just playing a couple of local shows to keep the motors running, trying things out, and just laying low, because we're really going to hit it hard and venture out into our region here shortly, as soon as this record's done.
Okay. So what you have right now is an EP, and you're going to make an LP.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's I mean, I know a lot of people that I've talked to with EPs and LPs. They're I think what's really working a lot for people right now is kind of what you're saying, but what they're doing is they're throwing singles out there. There's a single, and then 2 weeks to a month later they throw another one out and whatever. And guy, a lot of people said that's working for him, and other people like, you guys are ready to cut a full length album, and I'm ready to hear it.
Awesome. We'll probably do the whole thing where we have a full length album, but we're gonna probably release it like one song every 6 weeks, every 8 weeks until it's done, and then we'll release it all as like a compilation.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're telling everybody our plan.
Yeah.
Hey, you heard it here first.
Yeah,
It's
no
an
secret,
exclusive.
no secret.
And I mean, guys, what's the plans as far as you're gonna put out any kind of CD or vinyl or anything?
I know we thought about, haven't we, Brendan? I'm
Yeah, I would love to. Oh my God.
We're still on the fence with CDs just because we personally don't feel like CDs are selling as much as they used to. What we're really focused on is a bunch of merch. We want to brand everything. We're taking it from Kiss. I mean, like we want sweatpants, sweatshirts, lunch boxes, you name it.
Coffins.
Yes, everything. I feel like that's what
douchebag.
I personally still think it's hard to sell your music and make a living as a musician in 2022. I feel like all of your income is coming off of ticket sales and merch.
But I mean, I know that vinyl is making a comeback too.
That is
big time.
I've talked to a lot of artists about that, and they're like, yes, we are definitely interested in pressing some vinyl, but of course, all that production and everything is behind right now.
Well, we actually even talked about rolling cassettes. And selling Walkmans and the cassette as like a package deal, like at our shows and stuff like that.
That would be awesome. I would definitely buy one because that's my era.
Kind of feeding on nostalgia, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I don't blame you there. I mean, it is with the style of music you play and those two going hand in hand. I mean, I don't know how a younger crowd would respond, but a crowd that grew up on that music would be like, oh hell no,
yeah. Oh yeah. And you know what, really, I mean, that's what we're I mean, I don't know what our demographic, obviously you said, the younger crowd, we don't know how they're going to react to that and stuff, and I don't think we're really worried about that. We're just happy with what we're doing because it makes us happy. So it's like, okay, maybe it'll make somebody else happy. So
and that's all that matters, man. I mean,
yeah,
and I'm happy with what you're doing.
Appreciate that.
It's great to hear this type of music coming back, man. I mean, I know a lot of the bands from back then are getting out and touring and everything, but it's just to hear younger guys like yourselves coming out with this style of music is just fucking cool.
That's Dude, just cool. You wait, man, because the new songs that we have out that are coming out, oh my God.
Yeah, I really can't wait, dude. I mean, and you get anywhere close to Columbus or whatever, you count me in for being at the show, and
we'll
sit down and do a live interview.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Sure. Those are so much better. I love it. These Zooms are great. I mean, but yeah, to sit down and do a live interview, I went out and bought some wireless mics and everything, and
Well, yeah, I mean, live interview, we can clink some glasses together, man.
yeah, if I clink my can against my screen, it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. Well, I am about out of time on my Zoom here. I've got 1 minute left, and I don't want it to cut you off.
Okay.
But I really appreciate your time this evening. It was fucking awesome to meet you guys. You definitely gained a fan here in Columbus, Ohio. And when some new stuff starts coming out in 2023, Shauna, let me know and we'll set something else up.
Fuck yeah, man.
For sure.
All right,
Hold on,
Austin.
hold on to your mullets, man, because we're coming in hot.
I know I got a lot of growing to do.
You're gonna have to now. It's back, baby.
All right, guys, you have a good evening.
All right, have a good one, brother. Thanks for having us.
Later.